character described as a white woman, but he decided to change it because she would fit the character better. So he casts an older Brown Red time. See, see, let's see, Jack Brown. Let's see right here. But that's his idea. Uh, in this film, Jackie Brown is it's a story about a flight attendant who gets caught up in some nonsense by her benefactor or friend Odell. Someone put some drugs in her without her knowledge of it. But the reason why they know about it because Beaumont, played by Chris Tucker, gets busted and snitches on them and tells them about the drugs as they found out. So in the movie, basically, she's basically down on her luck a crappy airline that she has, and she's trying to keep from going to jail. So Samuel L. Jackson, supposed to be her friend, puts up the bail money for Beaumont and ends up killing him because he knows he's going to be a liability and give it to Pam Jackie Brown. And then the movie is basically she is basically putting everyone together to get a cut for herself. She knows it's her last chance to get out of this, and she wants to get some money in the process. Now, I'm not telling the whole entire story, but the gist of it is that, I mean, it's that characters like, Bridget Fonda, Robert Forster, Michael Keaton, Robert De Niro, Michael Bowen, uh, Lisa Gray Hamilton, who was actually on the TV show The Practice, which that's a long time ago. I wouldn't have known that anyway. Let's see what else is in here. Amanda Bigsley, Sid Haig, Hattie Winston. That's enough for everyone. But basically, Beaumont's friend, played by Robert De Niro, and it's weird that his name's not up here first. You'd think his name would be up here somewhere, because he's his buddy. But Robert De Niro, the character Robert De Niro plays, they knew it was in prison or something like that, and he was going to be his partner in this whole ordeal. But it all goes to hell basically really fast. But she in the end get her money and gets out scot free and everything like that, where everyone else pays the price. Robert Forster is very good in this movie, and so is Michael Keaton. And it's interesting, Michael Keaton's character, Ray Nicolette, is actually the same character he plays in not Elmore Leonard, but what is it? It came out around the same time. It was a movie with Jennifer, what's her name? Jenny from the Block. It's so silly. J Lo and what's the name? Who was like George Clooney. Let's see if I can find that movie. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look at that real quick. I'm gonna go all over the place anyway, so it's no big deal. Hopefully they actually won't spot. Okay. I'm just gonna look up the movie itself. See what comes up. Let's see. Dusted Dawn up here. It's an awesome movie. Let's see. Let's see what I can do. You know what it is. You can go on my IMDb page and look it up. Let's see. Doesn't matter. It's a movie with Jennifer Lopez and George Clooney in it. Uh, but he plays that same character that he plays in there, and he's playing, you know, Jennifer. Uh, I just had her name. It's idiotic. But J Lo, he plays her boyfriend in there, and he comes off as an idiot in that movie. Uh, now we did Jackie Brown, and the next film uh, was probably one of the best films of all time, Kill Bill, and I have no problem. Like, this is gonna be awesome. Talk about this one. Okay, and I don't even need to look at the summary on this one, because Kill Bill is about Uma Thurman plays a bride who is a hitman who basically dips out on her squad, and her boyfriend, played by Bill. Bill basically comes back, finds her, and they beat her to death, and they kill her while she has a baby. So when she wakes up from a coma, she basically looks out and she finds the people who killed her, and she goes one by one and basically has a list of people she kills. And this movie is probably one of the best soundtracks, one of the best movies. It has like an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. I really don't care, but I'm interested to keep talking about that. Gross 180 million. Story by Uma Thurman. I didn't know she wrote the script. Yeah, that was her story. Screenwriter, of course, Quentin Tarantino. It won awards, MTV Movie Awards, TV Awards. You can get on Amazon Prime, YouTube, Vudu, Microsoft, and Google Play. I saw actually both of them in the theater. Uh, there's a lot. It's phenomenal. It's one of the greatest movies. Now, one of the best stories in there is played Lucy Liu, who plays Orisha in Oren. Screw it. It's an animated version. It shows how she was a army brat, and her parents were killed by Yakuza or something like that. So she ends later become a hitman and becomes the ruler of her own basically crew, whatever. But the movie is a depiction of, basically a revenge movie. It has a lot of people like Sonny Chiba in it. He went back to get him. He was still alive. Good. He made a Hattori Hanzo blade for her. Has cast members like Lucy Liu, Vivica Fox, Michael Madison, Daryl Hannah. Late Derek Carradine was a phenomenal job in this movie. Julia Dreyfus, one actress who's I can't pronounce one of her names. Gordon Liu, Michael Parks, a slew of phenomenal actors in this movie, and it was two volumes. Michael J. White's in this movie. Actually, it's in a deleted scene. I wish I left it in. I guess they didn't have no time, but he does a phenomenal job as playing the adversary to, what's the name? Plays the adversary to David Duchovny. It's like an old kung fu scene from old kung fu theater movies. So that one he did after he did Jackie Brown, a two-parter, and then after that he did, I think he did Death Proof. Now that was also amazing, and him and Robert Rodriguez both got together and did a double feature. Let's see, no, that's not gonna work. How do you spell it? I'm killing it how I spell. And in there, they actually had mock trailers in there. Like, one was that later became Machete the Action movie. One was like the werewolf Nazis, the SS, and there was a zombie one too. That what's his name did, who did Shaun of the Dead. Now this movie right here is Death Proof, is about a basically a serial killer stuntman who's basically killed people with his car, and he basically runs up on some actual stuntmen. Some people are not going to have it. Now, this movie it stars Kurt Russell, Rosario Dawson, Vanessa uh, Fratello. She was in CSI New York, and she did other movies too. Jordan Ladd, Zoe Bell, Rosario Rose McGowan, Sidney Portier's daughter. Um, let's see, Tracy Thomas. Elizabeth, Mary Elizabeth Winston. Sidney Portier is in this movie. Jason Moran's movie. Quentin Tarantino, of course. Michael Parks, Marcy, James Parks, Eli Roth. Uh, a slew of people in this movie. But in the gist of the movie is basically, in a nutshell, he's gotten away with it so many times that he walks up on the wrong people, and he, needly to say, takes a beating he deserves. One of the main actors, Tracy Thomas, who's also in also movie one of my favorite musicals, the movie Rent, is in it. Basically plays a female Samuel Jackson, and he takes a beating. Now, I would mention Planet Terror, but technically that's not Quentin Tarantino, so I don't need to mention. I mean, I can say it. I don't really care much for that movie so much. It's still a good movie, but it's not my favorite of Robert Rodriguez movies. Now, after he did that, he did the movie. I think he did. Inglourious Basterds next. Now, let's see. Now with Inglourious Basterds, let's see. I'm gonna put cap on. I hate this. You are. Look at the cast of Glorious Bastards. It's basically like it was a war movie. It's a remake of a movie from the 70s or something like that. I like this version better. I know normally you don't really say that about films, but especially remakes. But the plot in the original is nonsense. It's not a bad movie, but I like this one better. And this one is basically the depiction of basically during when the rise of the Nazi Empire and a ragtag of Jewish soldiers go through and they're basically killing as many Nazis as they can, and to stop the rise of Hitler. Now, Quentin Tarantino had a great idea. He wanted to cast the cast with actual, real, like Germans and French and whatever who can actually speak German or French. So he has actual actors. Now, Christopher Waltz, who plays let's see if we actually have his name there. Christopher Waltz plays Colonel Hans, is basically, the Jew hunter or whatever his name was called in the movie. He plays it as a full-on monster in a film. And he basically kills, is her name Leah Lamar? I thought it was some Kruger. Yeah. Let's see if it comes up here. Basically, one of them gets away and defies the plan, and basically is going to burn everyone alive in this big theater where they're all at. But basically, the gist of the movie is basically soldiers going through killing as many Nazis as they can. Also, phenomenal, just awesome movie.